Alright, so what's up guys, and welcome to another Modern Warfare beta video here on the channel. So the multiplayer beta has already been out for about a day, and the emotions are bittersweet around the community, and that's what I wanted to talk about here on this video. Before I do begin, I do want to let you know that there was a small update that was introduced into the beta about an hour ago or so, at the time of me recording this video, of course, and it wasn't anything crazy. The level cap is still 10. They just introduced a brand new mode called Cyber Attack, and they also included another map called Gun Runner. So, and I believe that's available in 6v6 game modes. Keep in mind that throughout the days of these betas and whatnot, there are going to be more updates being implemented, and there's going to be more unlocks and whatnot. I do think that the level cap will go up to 30 eventually, because it is in the actual games, like in the main menu area, but right now it's up to 10, and that's expected because they're not going to throw everything in like 1 or 2 days of the beta, because then it just gets dried out. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about in this video, and I really want you guys to just be open-minded and also let your comments and your thoughts flow in the comments below, because I kind of want to see what you guys have to say about this and what's your scenario and how you look at this, because there honestly is no wrong or right. This is just going to be me talking kind of like about what the community is saying and how I feel about it personally. I don't think you're wrong and I don't think you're right. I think it's just everybody has a different perspective of how the game should be played and how the game should be viewed and how the game should be, period. Everybody's different, and that's what makes us human. It is a thing that I do want to talk about, because the community right now is really bittersweet. Like, even if you compare the beta to the alpha, the beta and the alpha are polar opposites. Like, people were really talking good about the alpha, and now the beta, there's a lot of people just complaining, and in reality there's only one major complaint. There's other ones here and there, but the biggest one that was even trending on Twitter yesterday was the minimap. The minimap is driving a lot of people crazy. I know there are some people, including some of you guys, that probably enjoy the fact that there is no minimap. As a matter of fact, me, when I played my first game of this beta, which was the first video I brought to you guys yesterday, I literally got a bunch of kills right off the bat because I was using the compass and I found it very helpful. And I was like, oh shit, this compass thing really is that good. But then after I started playing it, after making those videos, and I kept playing and I played a decent amount of hours now, I started noticing things, and I started letting things, you know, marinate into certain scenarios. And I was like, okay, well, this shouldn't play out like this. This feels a little weird. Okay, where the hell am I? I'm fucking lost. What part of the map is this? Where are my teammates? And that's where I started saying, okay, maybe the minimap is a little bit more important than I first anticipated when I played the beta for the first time. Now, I know that they were going for ultimate realism and all that stuff, and I get it. It's a bold move, especially when you try and remove something like a minimap, which has been in Call of Duty since, like, I don't know, forever, and it's literally the one thing the one thing that nobody has ever complained about. But they wanted to make it a little bit more realistic. They wanted to go ahead and just try something new, because people always complain about Call of Duty saying it's the same crap every single year. But then again, we're also pretty harsh on them, because when they change something, we bitch at them. But when they don't change something, we also bitch at them. So it's kind of like, I mean, I get it, but I also agree with the majority of the community. I feel like the minimap is very important. And from what I hear, they're saying that they're going to keep the minimap in competitive. So why have it in competitive and not, mind you, this is just a rumor. Why have it in competitive and not have it in pubs? If it's really that important, then maybe you should have it in pubs as well. But let me get to the point. I'm kind of like just rambling on here and not going anywhere with it, but I kind of want to I'm just letting the words flow, man. Okay, so let me get to the point. I wanted to make this video because I feel personally, after playing a couple more hours and, you know, the entire night last night and going to sleep like at 2 or 3 in the morning, I feel like we need a mini-map. Okay, I feel like we really need a mini-map. Not having a mini-map enforces campers galore. Like, this game is not as slow as regular modern boots on the ground Call of Duty. It's a little bit slower than Black Ops 4, but when you implement this whole tactic of not having a mini-map, it makes the gameplay go slower than what it's intended, because people are gonna play different. If you really try and play more passive, I promise you, you'll do better. Like, try and play this game more passive, and you're probably gonna get yourself better streaks, better kills, and just overall better KD ratio. It's just the way the game works. For some reason, not having a minimap makes the game slower, because that's how people are playing. And then you have this deployable shield, which after like a day of hopping into the beta, I just started playing it, and a lot more people are using those shields than anything else, because obviously not everything is unlocked, so you can't really base everything on a beta as how the full game is gonna, you know, pretty much play out. But a lot of people are using those ballistic shields or whatever they're called, and they're just camp cornering on a corner with that shit and just leaning on the shield and just aiming down sights, and that is pretty much what everybody's doing. Or they're just simply camping in corners, which is really, really irritating. And again, we go back to just overall, it makes the gameplay slower. Another issue that I have with this whole minimap thing, and again, please keep in mind that maybe things play out the way they play out in the beta, because not everything is unlocked in the beta, and maybe the bigger picture is meant to be seen once the full game and all the features are available. So maybe we could be prejudging this, okay? We could easily be prejudging it. One thing I didn't like was the fact that we cannot stack up UAVs. So why is it that we do not have a minimap, but we cannot stack up UAVs? Why is it that I have to die in order to get another UAV? I don't understand that. It's kind of funny because I was playing yesterday and I didn't notice this till like about an hour or two of playing, and then I was like, wait, what the hell? I've gone on a decent streak. Where's my other UAV? And then I died, and then I'm like, okay, so now I have a UAV after I get 3 kills again, but I didn't have it on my last life after going on a massive streak. So then I realized, okay, so there is no UAV stacking here, and there is no minimap initially. Why? You know, so it's like they were very, very against the UAV. But then again, these are things that sometimes get overlooked, and again, that's what the beta is for. But that's another issue that I have with this whole scenario in the beta, and this is just kind of like me giving some of the feedback. We need UAV stacking ASAP. For as long as I can remember, and probably everybody else that's played Call of Duty for many, many years, they can tell you that having a minimap, it's pretty much like a guidance. It's a sense of knowing where you are and a sense of knowing the position you have in the map. It's not really to even learn the map, because you don't learn the map by looking at a mini map. You learn the map by just playing on the map and going places and going up here, going down there. But the mini map plays a different role. The mini map gives you awareness of your surrounding and of your teammates. And I understand they implemented this whole new feature where you can see now through the walls your teammates, but this is the thing, and this is the problem with that feature. You can only see them if they're in your field of view. If your teammates are behind you, now you don't have a mini map to look at. You pretty much have to turn around and see where they are. And then by the time you turn back around, you're probably getting shot, or even before that. That's a big, big thing that's happened to me in this beta. Not knowing where my teammates are, even though we have this brand new features that pretty much tells us where they are. But with the same token, you have to have them in your field of view. If you don't, then you're also just lost. Like, there's literally memes going around about this game that when you're playing the beta, you feel like this. I found that pretty funny. Another thing that doesn't play very nice with not having a mini map is the designs of these maps. Mind you, I love the designs. I love that they went for not the traditional, you know, 3-lane design. I like that they're doing, like, you know, vantage points and just pretty much feeling it like old school Modern Warfare games. But it does not mix well at all. 1, when you don't know the maps, and 2, when the maps have 1 room with 5 doors and a building with 6 stories high, and you can just get up anywhere through anywhere on a rooftop. It gives them more layers of complexity and just overall confusion. Mix that in with no minimap, no sense of direction. I feel like that is a really, really big issue. Like, I'm playing with my friends sometimes and I'm like, yo, where the fuck are you guys? You have no idea where anybody is at, especially when you get into those maps that are really, really crazy with like doors everywhere and floors everywhere. It really doesn't play nice with one another. That's how I personally feel. I think that's like my biggest issue with the game right now. I think the last thing that I'm having issues with is the audio in this game. And supposedly it's been a little bit fixed, but the alpha had this issue. According to people, they're saying that it's been fixed in the beta, but I don't feel like it has. There's a bunch of different presets for your audio headsets. And normally when I play a Call of Duty or a Fortnite game, I know exactly where every single person's individual footsteps are coming from, like even before they come. If you're going to make a game without a minimap, you have to make audio really, really high priority, because you cannot make, in this game, in the beta right now, your enemy footsteps are just as loud as your teammates' footsteps. So there's a sense of confusion. Either put the minimap back, or you leave it how it is if you really don't want the minimap back, but you really, really have to play without audio. You have to make sure that it is very easily detectable to distinguish enemy footsteps from teammates' footsteps. It's kind of like what they did in Ghost. In Ghost, they really, really fixed that. And in Ghost, it was probably a little bit overpowered. If you're going to have a game that there is no constant minimap, you need to really work on that audio. Ultimately, I still think we should probably have the minimap. And listen, if you don't want to do it and you want to please both parties, maybe just have a playlist that is designed for people that want to have the minimap. And this is probably a bold move, but who knows? And then another playlist where people just don't have minimaps. But then again, that's why we have hardcore. So again, it all boils down to the fact that I don't really know why they did it. I mean, I understand what their point was, to kind of be different and try something else. It plays very different, and you feel a sense of lostness, if that's a word, when you don't have a mini-map. I'm not like really bothered by it, but I do feel lost in some scenarios. And I don't know if it's a mix of me not knowing the maps yet, because you can't really learn a map in a couple of days or a couple of hours. You have to play the maps over and over a couple of days, maybe even weeks, to really learn everything about the map. So I really don't know what it is. It is only a beta. It is very early in the game, but I know a lot of people are complaining. Like, the word minimap was literally trending on Twitter yesterday. So that goes to show you that it is a big deal, and a lot of people are complaining. A lot of people don't like it, but they did say that they were open to changing it, and that's what the beta was for. And, you know, after the beta, they were going to conclude their, you know, their feedback and take action from there. So I do want to say that I'm almost confident that if people keep complaining about it, there probably will be a minimap in the full game. I really hope that they listen. This game has a lot of potential. It really does. It is by far one of the best Call of Duties we've had in recent years. It plays really good. There's so much content in it. It already has more weapons than I think like a lot of the Call of Duties did when they released, and this is only a beta. So there's tons and tons of potential here. I feel like in order for this game to succeed, they really need to listen this time around. And I hope they do. So I'm going to end it here. I don't want to be talking about the same topic, the minimap, for too long, even though I think I've already have. But I would really like to see what you guys have to say about this, and what is your perspective. Again, you're not right and you're not wrong. It's everybody thinks differently. Everybody likes the game to be played differently. So feel free to let me know in the comments. Start a conversation. Thank you for watching. Happy Friday the 13th. And yeah. Okay.